Hello folks, welcome to another daily Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Once again, just too late. Tomorrow, thanks to God, tomorrow and Friday I have off, so I can spend more time making some research. And so once again, I'm going to provide today quick overview about what's happening in the market, so I can provide it today. Otherwise, it takes just too long to process the video, then to upload on YouTube to process the HD version. That takes hours. That's the big problem. However, we have some topics for tomorrow. US banks looking very weak at the moment. Just an analysis indicating 186 US banks were tuning their books, and now everything is escalating there, so it's absolutely not bullish at all. Also means that governments will open their wallet, it seems, once again, will pump money to the markets via the banks, at the same time rise the interest rates even more. And that's what I said. We don't have any options anymore on the table. Now it's just to play around to delay the big impact, but the outcome will happen anyway. We have topics also related to crypto. Jane Street leaving the crypto space, that's a big thing, but Cumberland, that's the Binance cartel, it seems very active at the moment. So less entities driving the markets, but Tether is the big winner at the moment, in my opinion. I have mentioned that so many times. Tether is the Trojan horse for the crypto, because now the liquidity is canalized via Tether. If they now kill Tether, well, kill in the US or whatever, and they have a big bank run in the US, for example, or by US customers, that could have a big impact to the crypto as well. I have mentioned that in the past. That's a very possible scenario, because the US have mentioned so many times, even ECC, Fed, and so on and so forth, that Tether, they are absolutely not bullish on Tether. Don't come with, because they are making a lot of money. Just explain first how they are making this money. How it's possible that a stablecoin provider is making in 3 months more than 1 billion just generating it with fees. It's, in my opinion, almost impossible. It's almost impossible. But of course, to use their possibility to use their own stablecoins to trade them on Bitfinex using different algorithms and spreading them on different other centralized exchanges to drive the market, while we have less big entities as a counterpart, that is very possible that you can make this money. But if you prefer that, I don't. That's absolutely not what I was looking for when I started to trade crypto, to be honest. However, I'm listening and reading some voices, and in my opinion, it's very concerning when we are going to start to prefer something like Tether that's absolutely not transparent, that they use manipulated documents to open accounts in different banks, that nobody knows where the money is coming from, but as long it's in our favor, that's good. And that's exactly the big problem we have in all our systems. Exactly that. It's our personal greed. We show to others and we say those guys are wrong, but we should take a mirror and take a look to ourselves first. Just to mention that. However, we are not going to talk about make any big topic on the initial comment today. I'm going to shift that tomorrow. We are going straight now to the weights ratio. And yeah, so let us cancel here and go forward. So obviously, as just mentioned, the weights ratio has to go up because it started to push more up from almost 78, it declined to 58, now to 57. As we bounce at 40, 47, 48, obviously we have to go more up, also indicating that they were planning this big sell pressure, as just mentioned in the past. I have even tweeted I was expecting something like a pump a dump or something like, you know, to go up 28.6 maybe and then go down. In my opinion, that's the next target, is to go down hitting 25. Of course, in slow motion, because it's pure distribution. So nothing to see here. Even here we can see what they did, right? I mean, we can see that the weights ratio 1 hour time frame dumped once. I told you, usually that means short term we will push up. Then they declined. They didn't dump, and even less and less and less. So it's indicating they did just higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, indicating the sell pressure was pushing up. And of course, we pushed up and declined hard afterwards. Everything was planned. Forget everything related to CPI. Forget that was planned. The whole move today was planned. We are now below of a trend line. I can show you here. We are now below. We retested it. Even here in the 1 hour time frame, we had a nice retest. We failed. Usually, we should go up once again and finish the candle here and before to go down. Usually, but it's not required. We did the retest. We failed, as we did here in the 1 hour time frame. Also here you can see my trend line was extremely accurate, the 1 day, the 1 hour, and now as you can see we were doing just higher lows. We break it, we are doing a retest, and if it's not completed now, if we maintain here, we will go down, means here indicating 25, 24k. However, so at the moment also here the weights ratio is pushing up the 1 hour time frame. You can see even if we had a downward trend right now, it seems it wants to break to the upside, because we are now hitting more, we have a range between 80 and 100%, indicating the sell pressure is high. If that maintains, we will go down and hitting 25. So let us go here and check the net flow related to Bitcoin. Looks more green than red today, indicating we received more Bitcoins than outflows. No, forgot, that's 10th. We had, well, it's a zero-sum game. It's neutral, I would say. Stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges maintains its range, and the weights ratio 30 hours moving average at 87. We need to see everything above of 90%. It's where everything is going to be more bearish serious. At the moment, it looks a little bit just like distribution. They stopped. They let the price retrace, and they are maintaining it, selling at the same time, also buying. The question is if it's the same actor that's just buying the quick little dip to sell afterwards. It's also possible. That's something we need to check. So let us go forward. So if we take a look now here, we see that we received today 965 Bitcoins, almost nothing at the moment. At the same hour, we had an outflow of 700 Bitcoins. And so it seems we just purchase those and take them off. Stable coins to spot, it's more cash out than inflows, indicating that usually we are not done and we should go also here more down. However, what will happen at 25? Nobody knows. If all the liquidity at 25 is spoofing, nobody knows. Only those who are placing the liquidity there. So in case it's not spoofing, we will bounce at 25, 25.7, 25.5, 25, 24.8, 24.6 maybe. I really don't know. That's something we need to track when the price is hitting to that levels. Anyway, at the moment it looks like, because Tether were printing a lot of money once again, and so usually that indicates if the price is not going to push up, they are buying the dip. And afterwards it will go up. But when? Nobody knows. That's the key, right? To make money at least. So let us go forward. So then let us also here just refresh, and we see that at least in the last hour we received more Bitcoins, more than outflows. But everything flipped much more to green, even the last 7 days. You remember yesterday it wasn't that green. Today almost 20,000 Bitcoins. And even the last 90 days, 65. So, wow, that's a lot. They purchased really a lot. Even the density of the bars here, like we had just before, reduced, also indicating they are not sending that much Bitcoins to centralized exchanges. Also this year is usually indicating they are right now purchasing hard. Also here very well in the H4 we can see what they did. They purchased a lot to the upside, and they started to reduce at least, or just to sell. If we take a look here, we can also see that the Bitcoin balance on centralized exchanges is declining at that level. So you can imagine if we keep on that pace until 25, we should be here almost. And that gives us usually more space to push even more up, indicating 25 would be a nice correction, then afterwards push more up. I guess, and even that, when the whole situation with the US bank starts to escalate even more, that could attract some retail to shift money to crypto. Even I'm not a fan of it, because in my opinion, at the moment at least, crypto is, in my opinion, not the safe alternative. Even, I'm bullish like hell in long term, but in short term, due the missing regulation, we have too many risks on the table. And institutionals also looking out of crypto, and they are more spending to gold. I wouldn't say gold, maybe. To be honest, gold is okay, but I'm even a bigger fan at the moment of silver. I think silver is going to be one of the assets that will surprise a lot of people, just because also related to the green agenda, the demand of silver should push up and the supply is not rising. So at the same with gold, for example, but gold doesn't have the use case like silver has. So at the moment, I'm more bullish on silver. If we talk about alternative assets, we can also go forward with other assets, vintage coins, silver coins, gold coins, watches. You need to understand a little bit of different assets, but unfortunately at the moment it looks more and more and more that we are going back to old roots, unfortunately. However, in my opinion, it's just a transition. They will use this transition also to regulate crypto on a global level. And that's where we need to shift then money back to crypto. When crypto starts to go down, 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 in my opinion, that's going to happen. And just to be prepared for then the next 5 to 6 years. It's not going to be, in my opinion, a short operation. We need then much more patience. So DCA, and start to accumulate. We will see how far the price will go down then, and how retail will also react to if the banking sector is going to collapse or almost to collapse in the US. Because if inflation starts to push up once again, Maersk, one of the biggest container providers, ship container providers, indicating they have a big problem on global stage at the moment. They are noticing less orders and also indicating that the global economy is declining at the moment. So while at the same time a banking system crisis in the US would also indicate that the US government will print or at least pump more money to the banks. We know what the banks are going to do then. So at the same time, to control the inflation, Fed will keep rising interest rates. It's so stupid, but that's it seems the only option that they have at the moment, because they just can delay things. They just can't fix them anymore. That's the thing. However, now I'm going to further. That looks at the moment more bullish than bearish. So let us go forward. So we see now here funding rate pushed up very well, then it declined, pushed up very hard, and now it's declining a little bit. We can see what they did with the open interest. The open interest pushed up, declined, pushed up, declined, pushed up, and declined very hard, indicating many have started just to use high leverage longs, indicating, hey, now it's time. And I was warning that, of course I don't have the whole Twitter space as followers, but I was warning that it wasn't a solid thing. It would be just a short-term push up, because everything was looking for weights ratio 1 hour time frame. For example, I have mentioned that it's a very accurate indicator, even more in the short term than the weights ratio 1 day time frame, of course. So let us take a look here. That looks a little bit dirty now, but it's just because the chart never saved my settings. Something I really hate that, but I can't change that. So if we take a look here, we can see that they cashed out stable coins just before, and this morning they sent more. Afterwards they cashed out. It looks like it was a quick operation. Also here, a bigger cash out in Bitcoins from derivative exchanges, also indicating they are not sending Bitcoins right now to trade there. They are taking out and cashing out, it seems. Could be also indicate that the price, for example, is going to flip. So those who were longing now taking out, cashing out, I don't know. We will see. However, I think they liquidated a lot today, also a little bit as expected. If we take a look, unfortunately for yesterday, nothing happened. We can see that the funding rate flipped in the 1 day time frame. It's the aggregated, while the leverage ratio didn't really decline. It stabilized. Means that they are trading with high leverage or with a rising leverage, and also the open interest stabilized just in the last 2 days. Yesterday they just liquidated 280 bitcoins in shorts and 270 bitcoins in longs, so almost the same amount. If we now take a look to blockchain whispers, also it was. We remember we had almost 2 billions yesterday, and it continues 66 to 34, indicating they are still waiting to see rising price. Also here, almost the same. No, not almost. It's the same ratio on Ethereum, 1 billion versus 500 millions, but, and that's something really solid, I don't remember when I have seen such a big amount in shorts. Ignore the longs because they are always there, but 42 millions in shorts on Bitfinex, I don't remember. I really don't remember. It's big, indicating they're expecting there to see a falling price here. So let us, I forgot once again the Kingfisher. Let us take a look to the Kingfisher if it works. Yeah, okay. I still have enough credits. So let us take a look here. Yeah. So 50 millions liquidation cluster less than yesterday. We are still here collecting some shorts between 28.2 and 28.9, so we can go a little bit more up if they want to, but it looks high leverage more on the long side than on the short side. Come on. Why? I have enough. Spending on. Oh, come on. Okay. So if we take a look here, 12 millions, that's a lot, indicating also here, for example, if I take a look, it's almost only shorts. Shorts at 28.2, indicating if we are going to push up between 28.1, well, almost 28.2 to 28.3, we can liquidate a lot of high leverage shorts. And that's mainly it. So let us go forward. So on Gamma, we see 27.5 is the level where bears and bulls want a battle. So it's where they will decide what's going to happen next. If I take a look here, it looks like that bulls are a little bit more in advance here, indicating if so we should go to 27,750. At the moment 27.5 is the magnet. We are trading right now exactly that price, 27.5 almost. If we take a look to the GAX maintains positive, just at 50,000. It declined, but however, it's still indicating that we have more space to the downside than to the upside. If we take a look now here, bear diagonal spread with calls, just 550 lots. That's really just nothing. Short strangle, bull call spread, bear call spread. Premium, it's so low. Yeah, it's just extremely low. So bear diagonal spread with calls. If we take a look, wow, and 14 positions, it's almost retail here. Yeah, they are here indicating that they would see a price below of 28.5 until Friday. Well, yeah. Everything else is so tiny. 2 pages. It's indicating 2 pages here. And this also 28.250 until Friday. To see a price below of 28.250, I mean, we can see that on the charts we are below. So yeah, good done. Well done. We will see. So then short strangle. The short strangle is just a strategy that's indicating that they are not expecting any kind of big price move. And at least here, short strangle? That's not, that's short strangle. What I'm missing here? They're seeing short strangle 395 lots. That's 25. Where are the rest? Ah, Levitas. It was so a nice app, but they really... Now, okay. Short strangle. If we take a look here, something big, well, we would say they are expecting a trade range until end of May between 27, 28, 26, 29, 26, 5, 28, 5, 27, 5, 28, 27, 5, 28. So slow motion as I have said. And many, okay, 20 to 40, that doesn't make sense to trade that on short strangle. However, the price is rising now, bulls in favor, and of course they are pushing up now. So if we take a look here, as indicating they are expecting to have a little price range between, I would say something like between 26, 29k. So yeah, I would say that's absolutely fine to push up a little bit, liquidate those shorts, then liquidate those longs, and so on and so forth. Bull call spread, usually something bullish, but as mentioned, it's extremely low in volume. Also here indicating we should see until end of June a price above of 32k. Also here, in my opinion, absolutely fine. Bear call spread, bearish, the opposite of the bull call spread, and it's retail. It's pure retail, indicating they are going to see until next week, Friday, a price below of 29k. We are already below of 29k. So yeah, what should I say? Okay, that's absolutely it. It wasn't really useful because no big guys were trading options at the moment. That's something I'm noticing since few weeks, that even on options, sometimes we have exceptions, but almost they are more retail trading at the moment options and not big entities anymore. That's really concerning. So we can see now the market drivers. If we take a look, I have mentioned today on Twitter, the whole thing was absolutely well prepared by Binance, and in my opinion, it's Binance cartel. What is the Binance cartel? It's almost Cumberland. If you check Cumberland, some of them are on Twitter, CMS. I think they have their tag on the name CMS, Cumberland. Cumberland, huge friends of Sam Bankman, of course, because they have the same principles when it comes to trading, full manipulation, like Jane Street. I mean, Jane Street, who educated Sam? It was Jane Street. I mean, if you see the context, you have, it's pure entertainment. We could make a series. Maybe we should contact Netflix, talk to them and say, hey guys, we could make a crypto series through 2-3 seasons, you know, the beginning, then with Tether, Spot ETF, then the collapse of Sam's Kingdom or Empire, and some other drama scenarios we had, 3ACs and so on and so forth. And now we still have Binance and Cumberland. Cumberland seems to trade almost only on Binance. That's why some newspapers or news just declared them to be the Binance cartel. However, these guys are specialized and expert in market manipulation. They can do it. It's unregulated. It's absolutely okay. And of course, they love to use Tether. And they have a lot of money. However, so it was really crazy to see that Binance was almost the only one with BUSD, not only moving the BUSD CBD, but also at the same time the futures, while everything else, USD pairs or Tether pairs, were just indicating, no, we are going to sell more than buying. And well, I mean, you can see here the trend line. They are trying to break this one, but you can see, I mean, they then just reduced or started to sell big. But of course, Binance is the exchange with a lot of volume and a lot of retail. But however, that was something I noticed immediately and said, oh, come on, that was so planned. They use some triggers like CPI to do what they want to do in the market. However, yeah, that's BUSD. That's the aggregated stablecoin, so USD, Tether, and BUSD at the same time. And we have here that's coin margin contracts and stablecoin margin contracts. If we take a look, BitMEX, so Bitfinex declined a lot. Now it's pushing up also the price at the moment with futures. We can see that Bybit is still on the bearish side at the moment. We can see that Coinbase is doing exactly the same. And that's something that's also concerning me, because when they are buying here to sell afterwards, but I also know Coinbase is the US Binance. A lot of retail is trading there, so it's absolutely not clear if that was a very good coordinated move today by institutionals, for example. If we go forward, Bitstamp did exactly the same. Kraken, well, it's still straight more on the bearish side. And Gemini, I mean, look that. And for Gemini, that's a relatively big volume. However, if we go forward, we can see at the moment, 1 minute ago, let us refresh, they are taking profit more than sending stablecoins to centralized exchanges. Also here to Tether, for example, we see that the blue bars are bigger than the yellow. Even we have a lot of little and small or tiny yellow bars, indicating that algorithms are just buying Tether to send to centralized exchanges, and to do what they need to do to push up, to decline afterwards, and so on and so forth. Same with USDC, but we see here much more blue than yellow, indicating they are cashing out. And the same here, BUSD selling, but they started then to push up, and look what they did here. Once again, they did it. They sent almost 10 millions here to push up, indicating and look, that's the BUSD, the trash BUSD. So the Binance BUSD, that's the Paxos BUSD, that's the Binance BUSD. Look, the volume just closed before they pushed up. I mean, that's a shame. That's really a shame. But at the same time, it's hard just to be that hard. When some people think I don't like crypto when I'm saying that's a shame, or because I like Bitcoin. I like crypto in general. I spent years here. Just because I'm not trading doesn't mean I don't like crypto anymore. And usually I'm someone, if I make some critics, than just because I want to make it better, not to let it disappear. So I like to receive also critics to make me better, to let me reflect. But of course, on a serious level, to bring arguments, to bring not just stupid stuff and comments. That's the block, the ban follows immediately afterwards. However, so, I don't like this stuff. That's the only thing. I know that, JP Morgan manipulated many markets over decades, even Goldman Sachs and other banks. I know them. But that's exactly the thing. I thought this year is going to be different. And unfortunately, it's not. It's really not. So I have to laugh when I hear and read some people saying, but Bitcoin is the alternative. It's not. Fuck, it's not. Because the same people who are manipulating other markets are manipulating here as well. For them, it's just an asset. That's the problem. You need to understand that. Yeah, we like the technology. And yes, that would be a great alternative. But only with mass adoption and with a bigger supply. But it's not happening. However, retail pushing up hard. This guy's pushing up. This guy's pushing up. This guy's pushing up. This guy's pushed up, declined. We have seen that everything has to do also with this Binance cold wallet that was removed, and they sent all these bitcoins to different wallets, also to this here. So that's why it declined a lot. Then it pushed up. The question is, I don't know where this data is coming from, because I can't see. I can track that they sent this, they removed this wallet, but I can't see that they created a new one with almost all these bitcoins. I really can't see that. However, it declined here, and that's actually the wallet that disappeared. If we take now a look to the counts, we start with retail pushing up more. Also here, for example, pushing up more. Also here, well, they declined a little bit. Here pushed more. Here declined. Here pushed more. And here, obviously, it pushed, it declined. It's something, and twice, as you can see. That happens in November last year, and that happens now as well. And in November last year, that happens before we had a big nuke. So I don't know if that's a context, but well, almost very interesting. If we take a look now to the market maker entities, what these guys are doing here, for example, if they are sending more bitcoins at the moment, they cooled down a lot. 225 bitcoins was the last. Miners didn't send them. Waste ratio at OKEX and Bybit rising, everything else declining or stabilizing. Also here, fundings are declining their balances, indicating they have less demand by their clients. Otherwise, they would buy more Bitcoin. Instead, they are selling. Here indicating that this chart, the ratio between spot volume and future volume is now stabilizing. Future volume declining or spot volume rising, it's absolutely not clear, but we can see that. So they reinforced a little bit between 25.5. At the same time, they just reinforced also 30k. Would be the best swing trade ever if we can go to 30k, then afterwards go down to afterwards go up again. Would be a great trade, to be honest. As you know, I have mentioned that so many times. Without to make any promotion, but on Bitget, when I was trading exactly these swings, hedging, and with really less risk, I did more money than just before. And it's, when you have such kind of market conditions and you see a great opportunity for swing trades, it's the best you can do, and always adjust your risk hedging it. I mean, that's the best really you can do. On Coinbase, nothing happened. They are here at 30K also, for example, just reinforcing, but also at 26. Also here between 25 and 26 on Bitstamp, Binance. On Binance, you can see we had a retest. Now they break up once again. They reinforced here 28.6. Now they are not bringing volume back to 27, so they triggered it. That's it. Now it depends what we will do, but at the moment it looks we have a trading range between 26.5 and 28.5, $2,000 with a leverage of 20. Depends, would be a nice swing gain. However, Binance BUSD, also here nothing between 25.5 and 26.5, just really absolutely nothing. Bitfinex, they are waiting at 26.8 and a lot of liquidity to the upside, so also nothing to see here. OKEX, obviously nothing. Kraken, now they are reinforcing 25.5 and also here 29.3 and 30K. Bitmax, on Bitmax nothing. Bybit, now derivatives with US dollar. They want to push a little bit more up, it seems. Now with Tether, yeah, doing here exactly the same. Now Binance with Tether. You remember what I said, that when they are doing it, that indicates they want to push up, and look what they did. Binance is FTX today. Push up, waiting here to let the price go down. Everything extremely prepared to liquidate their own customers. They removed some liquidity in lower ranges. They didn't introduce more liquidity to the upside, so it looks like a little bit like idle, to be honest. Now with BUSD also nothing. Now Bitfinex, perp, much shorts to the upside than to the downside, so match a little bit with my expectations. Kraken nothing. OKEX, yeah, also wants to push up more, and Deribit also waiting between 24 and 25.7 at the moment, reinforced at 25.5. 25.5 seems to be the key at the moment. They removed the wall at 29, so we need to see, but at the moment it looks a little bit more down than up, and would match a little bit with what I have said just before. So let us go forward. So as just mentioned in the beginning, usually we should go up maybe tomorrow to be at 28 to close the day there, and then over the night we should go down hitting 25. It doesn't look solid what they are doing at the moment, to be honest. I mean, in the 1 hour time frame we tried to break, we didn't, and yeah, at the same time we had here a new trend line. It seems like a little bear trap, so we need to see if they want to push up once again to 28.2. I think that could happen just like a stir until tomorrow and then go down. because that would match to the 1 day time frame. And you know, now they retested it. It could be done here. We can go directly down, but usually that's my experience as a trader and analyst. Usually they push up, close the candle here to go down then afterwards, or to break up to the upside, and then everything keeps going like it was, dancing around this trend line until we have a solid move to the upside or to the downside. Now we need to see. But unfortunately, that's absolutely everything I can tell you. I mean, we have here trend line that could be at 30,500. I have a big doubt that we can do it. I see more that maybe we will retest that area tomorrow, close here, and maybe even today to go up, close here, and then tomorrow go down. However, I would be careful, trade carefully, just track a little bit your risks. I mean, it's your money, you can do what you want, but I would consider really to hedge a little bit. If you are more bullish, you can have, you can use, I don't know, something like, 30-70 ratio for longs. If you are more bearish, the opposite for shorts, indicating 70% of your funds in shorts, 30% of your funds and longs. Of course, that only makes sense if you are expecting a swing trade. If you are expecting, hey, we go down to Valhalla, of course it doesn't make sense to do it. It just makes sense if you, for example, in my case, I'm not going to trade. Even sometimes I really hear sitting and say, oh, that's such a nice opportunity. But no, absolutely not. I don't trust what they are doing. So, I prefer to sit on my hands than to be a victim at the end of the day. So usually I would, here I would be almost maybe more on the short side than on the long side. Only if we go here, for example, it will be, for me at least, a solid short entry. So I guess I would wait a little bit, because I would expect to go up once again and then to go more down. And in my opinion, 25k is our defined target. We will see how long it takes to be there, but in my opinion, we will find the way. However, we will see us tomorrow. Big love, your Inspo.